What's up, guys? I want to talk to you today about a little bit more about defense, expanding on a point that I made in my last defense video. So as we all know and we established from that last video, space is an essential part of your game plan, especially defensively. You've got a limited arena in which you play in, and in certain games it either gets a bit more wonky. In 3D games you kind of have more arena to play with, but in 2D games it's certainly much more limited, and definitely getting to the wall is good, or getting to the wall is really bad for your opponent. Like, you're free to do whatever you want in this position. However, today we're going to talk about something that a lot of beginners, including myself, I'm essentially working out that habit, have often done. So essentially, we look at top play and we see that they keep moving back and forth. The essence of footsies, getting in and out of each other's range, and we don't really know what we're doing, because we could just possibly be lucky that we get a block, or we just get caught walking forward. Somebody could look at your patterns, see that you're essentially just walking forward at wrong times, and hit you and punish you for that. Now what this does is, sometimes because we get punished for that, we essentially force ourselves on the extreme of defense and put ourselves in the corner prematurely. What that does is delete one of your defensive options that we've already established, is your space, your spacing. The ability to even just get out of a situation or high pressure because you can move back gets eliminated when you're at the wall. So essentially, I've just set Kimberly to just kind of shimmy moving back and forward. And as beginners, we see this and we don't really know what we're doing. We're just kind of moving back and forward because it's like we see pros do it, but to be honest, it's really and truly to get a punish. We're trying to see, okay, you do this, you just can't send that out. Let me get you in your animation where you're recovering, and then boom, I get some additional frames, and then I can move in from there and start my pressure. However, what you want to do in a situation like this, or what I found was much better and allowed me to still maintain my space, is that I'm walking up, doing a little walk up, might still do the testing of what it is that my opponent wants to do. How do they react to me essentially moving back and forth? But in that process, you move up and you might just want to hold down back. So you're moving forward, you're doing these micro walks, and you're putting yourself in a defensive position. Obviously, you kind of need to know when your opponent is sending out those moves, so you don't really want to just keep doing this randomly, because you could get caught walking forward. And you see, when we get caught walking forward, what happens? Kimberly blinks red, because that means that move is cancelable. And it's a very good tool of Kimberly to start pressure from that area, because she cancels into a drive rush, cancels into specials. She essentially starts massacring your character at that range. And this can be applied to any fighting game. It doesn't matter whether it's 2D, 3D. The point is, you don't really just want to get caught walking forward and punished simply for that action. That is why I have discovered that, essentially walking forward a bit and then just defending, you get better at it. You want to get to the point where it's not every move, because when Kimberly whiffs that, or she hits me on block for that, it's 4 frames. Obviously, it's a bit relatively safe due to the fact that, there's a certain amount of pushback on it. However, it means that I would be in an advantageous position if she doesn't do that. And if she doesn't essentially recover in time, then you can apply that pressure. So instead of doing this false shimmying because you've seen top players do it, or you've seen high level play, it's being executed at a high level, and it's like, ooh, I need to start shimmying like this now, I need to start just doing that. Instead of doing that random movement, how about walking up and essentially defending your space? You're getting in on your opponent, you're reducing the amount of space they have available, and still defending, so then you can start your offense. Obviously, you still want to be in a position where we're doing this because we're trying to bait out an option that they may use, and then we whiff punish with that. So essentially, you're playing with that range, but a much more effective way of getting in on your opponent for now is essentially walking and blocking. Kind of like a wave dash in Mortal Kombat. I think the wave dashing in Mortal Kombat is basically stepping forward and then holding block. So it's like you cancel your dash animation with the block, but it's essentially you're trying to get in on your opponent, create less space for them, because that is the defense that you want to have. Just in case they know how to escape from the pressure, they probably try to jump because of the fact that they are cornered. You'd want to anti-air, you'd whip out whatever character specific options you have for dealing with that. But that's all I wanted to share with you guys today as we slowly but surely improve in fighting games and work on that defensive playstyle. I hope you enjoyed today's video and I'll see you guys in the next one. But until then, stay gaming.